She walked out her shift and into thin air. No struggle, no trace, no goodbye, just gone. To this day, her disappearance is one of the strangest mysteries ever tied to a hospital, and what happened that night still haunts everyone who knew her. It was a cold March evening in 2012 in Portland, Oregon, the kind of night when fog clings low to the ground and the empty streets echo with a stillness that makes you uneasy. Inside St. Catherine's Medical Center, Nurse Angela Morris was finishing up another grueling night shift. Angela wasn't just a nurse. She was a nurse everyone trusted, the kind who worked double shifts without complaining, the kind who held the hand of frightened patients when no family could be there. Her last patient had just been stabilized, and with a tired smile, Angela clocked out at 3:04 a.m. Witnesses said she looked exhausted, but in good spirits. Her car was parked in the hospital's underground garage, a short walk from the nurse's exit. Cameras should have captured her every move, but here's where the mystery begins. The security cameras in that section of the garage, they malfunctioned that night. Angela never made it home. The next morning, when she didn't show up to relieve another nurse for the day's shift, calls went straight to voicemail. By 8 a.m., her sister, who Angela spoke to daily, knew something was wrong. She called the hospital. She called friends. Nothing. At 11 a.m., police found Angela's car exactly where she'd left it. Unlocked. Keys in the ignition. Purse on the passenger seat. Her hospital ID badge neatly clipped to her uniform. It looked like she had simply stepped out and vanished. Detectives began questioning staff. Some remembered seeing her heading toward the garage. Others claimed they heard footsteps echoing long after she should have left. One janitor swore he saw a shadowy figure trailing behind her, but when pressed, he admitted he couldn't be sure. It was late, the garage was dark, and exhaustion can play tricks. As detectives dug deeper, the hospital's secrets began spilling out. Every camera near the nurse's exit failed between 2:45 and 3:30 a.m., the exact window of Angela's disappearance. Records showed a patient discharged earlier that night under unusual circumstances. No family contact. No forwarding information. The file was incomplete. Nurses whispered about a male staff member who had been making unwanted advances toward Angela. She filed a quiet complaint, but it was handled internally. The deeper they looked, the stranger it got. And then came the chilling discovery. A smear of blood on the stairwell railing between the garage and the lower maintenance level. DNA confirmed it was Angela's. The case was beginning to spiral. Media outlets called it the Vanishing Nurse. Family and co-workers gathered for vigils, holding candles outside the hospital. But investigators were hitting wall after wall. The discharged patient vanished. The address on the file didn't exist. The co-worker lawyered up, refusing to answer questions. The blood trail ended abruptly, as though someone had carefully cleaned the rest. Then came the most unsettling piece. A hospital technician quietly came forward and admitted something terrifying. Those malfunctioning cameras, they hadn't failed. They'd been manually turned off. Now the case turned sinister. This was an accident. Someone inside the hospital didn't just abduct Angela. They covered it up for weeks. Police searched tunnels beneath the hospital, old boiler rooms, even nearby woods. Nothing. Not a single trace of her body, her clothing, or her belongings. And just when the investigation seemed frozen in place, another eerie detail surfaced. 2 weeks after her disappearance, Angela's sister received a voicemail from her number. Just static, but faintly, almost too faint to hear, there was breathing. Forensic analysts confirmed it wasn't a glitch. Someone had dialed from Angela's phone, a phone that was never recovered. Months turned to years. Leads dried up. The hospital quietly distanced itself from the case, calling it a tragedy outside their control. But Angela's family never stopped searching. To this day, her sister keeps a candle burning in her window, saying she'll blow out the day Angela comes home. The garage where she vanished has since been renovated. Cameras now cover every inch. But those who work night shifts say it still feels different. Heavy. Wrong. And sometimes, late at night, staff report hearing soft footsteps in the garage. Always around 3 a.m. always when no one is there. Angela Morris was more than just a nurse. She was a daughter, a sister, a friend, and her story is a reminder. Even the safest places can hold secrets. Secrets that cost lives. Secrets that demand answers. Her case remains unsolved. But maybe one day, the truth will finally come to light. If this story shook you, share it. Keep Angela's name alive. Because sometimes the only way justice comes is when we refuse to forget.